Hello everyone, it's Livy again with another video. This time, something different from the past two videos at least, which have been unboxings, to now show you guys every single deck in my collection. Well, maybe collection's not the right word. I don't really know how I think about my decks right now, but every deck in my possession right now. And I'm going to start actually in what you would think might be reverse order by starting with all the Oracle decks in my collection. So, to start, let's look at this one. This is the How to Be a Wildflower Deck, 78 Symbols from Nature to Guide and Inspire You by Katie Daisy. I originally saw this deck from, who was it? I originally saw this deck from Marine at the Waves of Your Soul. She used this deck during, what was it? It was one of those like pick a card readings. And I became obsessed because of the artwork, as you're going to see in just a second. This is the first, though. I count this as an Oracle deck, although to be honest, I don't know if you could actually count it as an Oracle deck because it's very, well, I'll show you. So this is one of the cards. And by the way, something's going on with the lighting here. Give me a second. I'm going to, zoom in much better. Sorry about that. Awkward zooming in at this time. But yeah, these are the cards. You can tell, right? They're not tarot size. They're a little longer. I love the feel of the cardstock and the way it bends. But because I have really tiny hands, I'll show you. I cannot overhand this deck properly. Oopsie. See, you could barely, like my fingers. I have to get my middle and my thumb. And even then, it's like the most awkward shuffling ever. And they don't, and they kind of clump, is what I mean. Sorry, they clump together. But this is the beautiful artwork on this. Like, even look at this card. And the shtick is that there's like a beautiful image on this side. And then when you flip it over, it has like some kind of quote, text, or whatever. This one says, nourish your soul. And this is just a beautiful, beautiful deck. Oh, I love this whale. This deck is more, I would say, for people who like to, sorry. If you hear like people screaming in the background, it's somebody in my apartment complex is like watching a game right now and they're like wigging out. But anyways, yeah, this is just a beautiful deck. I would say this is probably better for like journaling maybe. Like this one is create something beautiful, and it is beautiful. But yeah, I would probably use this more for journaling, but I do like the idea of using this deck maybe if I ever do my own pick a card readings. Little nervous on that because I've never tried to do something like that for others, but look at this. This is beautiful. This reminds me of the Wheel of Fortune. But anyways, yeah, this is a beautiful deck. And I just wanted to show it off. So, give me a second to take this one out of the way. That was my first Oracle-ish style deck in my collection. I'll have to be honest, guys. I actually don't have as many nearly as I do tarot. I'm also not... I don't know. I'm still figuring out how to incorporate Oracle more into my practice. So there's that. So you'll see a small handful, but it's not going to be as much nearly as you will see tarot. Anyways, next one. You guys probably saw this recently because there was an unboxing of this. This is the Seaborn Kipper. Technically, this is not an Oracle, of course, but it's not a tarot either. So I thought it was better to put in this video. If you really want to watch me flip through this deck, You can definitely watch my unboxing, but this is the Seaborn Kipper. Kipper is a style of card reading, cardomancy that I'm learning. I haven't gone deep dive into it yet, but this style of deck is kind of similar to those who know Lenormand. But instead of it being Lenormand, of course, it's Kipper. Kipper cards, from my understanding too, are read literally. So, like, if you got this card in a reading, for instance, it might be a literal marriage, or like marriage in the sense of like something literally coming together, you know. So that's what's intrigued me about this system versus Lenormand, because I did actually try to pick up a Lenormand. I do have a Lenormand deck. I'm not going to show it in this particular video because this particular video is just for the Oracle and otherwise. And that other one might be for my Purgatory box video. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. So Kipper, I'm finding, is a lot easier to understand. Lenormand was just confusing me because of the way that you have to read it, and it's read metaphorically, kind of, which I don't quite know what that means in the sense of card reading. So, yeah. But this is the Seaborn Kipper. This was a recent Kickstarter for the only indie version, and it's from the same creator as the Line Strider Tarot, which is actually in my collection, so you guys will eventually see that one. Anyways, that's the Seaborn Kipper. Let me see, what do I want next to me? Let's go with this one. This is Where Alice Went, a Wonderland Oracle by Sarah Stassi. I hope I said that right. I actually really love this deck because the artist, give me 1 second, I'm like going in the background trying to, come on, things on my desk that need to focus. This artist is a local artist for me, so this is her information, Sarah Grace Stassi. She's from Santa Cruz, which is not very far from me. This is her Etsy, Instagram, website. She has a lot of cool Oracle decks. So if you're into Oracle, you should definitely look into her. The reason why I discovered this deck was from, who was it? It might have been Meg at Rose Honey Ritual. She had a different deck from this artist, and I got really curious. So I looked up the artist and saw that she had this one, which was, again, Alice in Wonderland themed. And let me tell you guys, Alice in Wonderland is one of my favorite book series, like, ever. So I was really excited when I discovered this deck. So this says, as you can see, an Oracle deck based on Lewis Carroll's classic tale of Alice and her adventures in Wonderland. Use it to inspire and affirm your own magnificent and nuanced adventures in the wonderland of life. So cool kind of packaging too. It like flips out. There's even like an image here. And these are the backs. Move this out of the way. Okay, these are the backs. I think I love the art on the backs, but I'll be honest, I actually don't know if this quite goes with the color scheme of the rest of the deck, and I'm going to show you that in just a second. The cardstock is interesting. It's very see, it's not picking it up bad on the light. It's like glossy. Oh, see, there you go. You can see it a little bit. It's glossy, but it's not like really bad gloss. I don't know how, oh, see, yeah, now it is. Depends on what lighting. So it's very glossy. And at the same time, it's got a texture to it. It's interesting that these backs are reversible because I don't think this deck has reversed meanings for the cards. And it doesn't come with a guidebook, just so you guys know. There's no guidebook. And it's the reason why is because, well, first off, here's one of the beautiful cards. How this deck works is there's a keyword. There's an image that relates to not only the keyword, but the passages from the book, the actual book series of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. They're all in the background. So it gives you context for what the scene is about. Now, because Alice in Wonderland is one of my favorite books, I know immediately how to read this deck. If you are not completely familiar with the actual book, I'll admit this might be harder for you to understand and get a hold of. But for me, like, this is perfect. Fear with the Red Queen, like, imagery, perfect. I already know. But I am obsessed with this deck just because of the style, the cool way the art is collaged together. This is definitely one of my favorites right now. I love going through it. You're going to see this in the all my tarot decks video, but I do have an Alice in Wonderland themed deck that I've been pairing this with. And while the artwork isn't completely synchronous, yeah, that's the word I mean, synchronous, it still works at the same time for me. So if you guys are, by the way, if you're interested in me doing a whole flip through of this deck, please let me know. This one is beautiful. I could go on and on about it, but I will stop right there. But it's a really great oracle if you like Alice in Wonderland. Let me get these out of the way here. Next. Which one? I don't have many, so I don't know why I'm going which one, but I'll start with this one. This is the Hidden Forest Oracle. The Oracle deck. I was trying to see if the creator's name is on here. I always forget who creates this deck, but you can, I think there's a card in here that'll actually talk about it, but this deck is an indie deck. You can find it on Etsy. That's how I discovered this deck. Personally, it came with this cool little sticker. I haven't used it to journal or anything yet. So this is the Hidden Forest Oracle. It says, "The woods have always been a place of inspiration. Draw yours from this 33 card oracle deck based on nature and occult imagery. Wild beasts and untamed places inhabit the cards, paired with domestic companions and trappings of a cozy cottage. The cards are based off hand-inked artwork made specially for this deck by artist Megan Mers." Okay, there it is, Megan Mers. I hope I said her last name right. "They have been layered with color to create a variety of spreads that are a treat for the eyes. If you feel a connection with what resides in the forest, this deck will have a special place in your heart." And then there's her website. This deck is interesting. So if you guys can't tell, this deck is square-shaped. I don't know how many of you have a square-shaped deck. Oh, yeah, and the tuck box is not the greatest. I literally bent it like this as soon as I opened this deck the first time. But this deck is pretty cheap. Well, depending on where you're from. It's actually pretty cheap to get a hold of for an Etsy deck. What I'm not a fan of is, okay, there's no formal guidebook because instead, as you can see, the creator has these, has the card meanings on actual cards, which is fine, I guess, except if the point was to save paper, it's kind of counterintuitive in my opinion. But anyways, has some spreads, some more stuff on the card, how to use it, a little key thingy. And these are more of those, yeah, with the keywords, like more of that. So it's a lot. But the actual deck, as you can see, as it said, it's only 33 cards. I think this is the right way to put it. I always get confused with this one. But the art, look at this. It is stunning. I've used this quite a bit. If you guys follow me on Instagram, which I think is linked on my channel page, ? Did I actually link it? I don't know. But if you follow me on Instagram, I've used this for some of my oracle polls. But these are just cards. These are stunning. Look at this cat. Love it. Love it. I love that they're just so bright in color. I'm someone who likes color a lot, so that's what attracted me to this deck. And I also like that it doesn't have like the keywords and stuff necessarily on the cards. I know that's really different from other people who read Oracle. I know people who read Oracle, they love actually having like a keyword and then the whole description on the cards, and that's just too much for me. It's like overstimulating. This is perfect. But yeah, it's a cool Oracle deck, and I haven't really seen anyone using this, so I hope this brings in some more people to work with it, because I think it's cool. And if I show you, I'll just do a quick one. Might not line up with whatever's here. Yeah. So see, it'll have what the card is, what kind of category it could be in, and then like all the keywords and stuff. And yeah, that's how this one works. And I'm going to move on. Sorry. Again, if you guys also want a full flip through of this one, just let me know. And sorry, my voice is dying. It's dying. This time of year is very strange. The weather is changing. My voice is freaking out. But that's that deck. Next, I'm going to show... Oh, this is bulky. How do I even show these? Maybe like this? Yeah, maybe like this. These are the mini Divi collection from Holly Oddly. There are quite a few people now. Well, maybe not quite a few. I've seen this deck really only on, God, who is it? Oh, what's her name? I'm sorry, I forget your name. Wait, no, I remember. Krista at Crochet Witch Tarot. If I'll put her page down below. Sorry. Sorry if I butchered it, but I'm pretty sure it's Crochet Witch Tarot. She's shown this deck off. I've also seen, I think Danny Mystic had the tarot deck, which I do also have, but these are the mini Divi. Now, they weren't originally this many of them. It started with this one. This one was paired with her teeny tiny tarot, which I also have in my collection and I will show off. There's a lot of these, as you can see. She built in this collection recently, so I got my hands on it. I'm not going to show every single card from this. There's a lot of them, but they are really, really cool, so I'll put them out with like this. Each one of these is based on a different theme. So the ghost one obviously has messages from ghosts, omens, curiosities, messages, opposites, and dreams. And I am obsessed with her artwork. It's very, I don't want to say simple, but at the same time it is. It's more like minimal, maybe is the better word, because I don't want to diss Holly Oddly. I love her art. It's more minimal. And what I love about this deck also, because I have small hands, is that these are bridge size. So all the backs, no matter which of these decks it is, has this backing. So it shows it's in the same collection. And each deck is a little different. I'll show you guys ghosts, like Victorian Ghost, right? It has the messages on there. It has a title name. Ghost Phone, Child Ghost, Ghost Town. There's something just about the way that she phrases her messages that actually speaks to me. Other Oracle decks don't quite the same way, but hers do. Now, each of these is a little different in the way they show the message, but it's pretty much the same, like same artwork style and stuff. So I'm not showing all of them, but I wanted to point these out because I don't know. I kind of put them together as one. Not always. As you can see, they're still in their packaging all separate. But I see them as one unit because they're built kind of like that. I've seen some people use this deck as a mega deck like Krista did on her channel. I keep them all separate only because sometimes I want themes from one versus the other. But yeah, this is Holly. Oops. Is that the side that says Holly Oddly? Sorry. Nope. Just on here. Okay. Yep, just on there. But her decks are really, really cool if you have not looked into them. Each one is pretty cheap to get if you're in the US. If you want just one of these versus a lot of them. But I recommend all of them. I don't know. I think they're all cool. I'm going to put that to the side. Next one. I have, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 more to show. I don't have very many Oracle, like I said. First one I'm going to show off. Love this one. Haven't really worked with it yet, though, because Cosmovisions is a set of cards to ease your soul. 78 card deck illustrated by James R. Eads. You guys probably know who he is by now because he just had a Kickstarter for, the Green Glyphs set of decks. But before that, he had the other tarot deck that you'll eventually, guys, see me talk about, which is the Prisma Visions. But this one is the Cosmovisions. So this one is actually... So this deck is best for, well, not best, but I've seen it used more for the idea of, because it's in a tin and it's a small version, it comes with only this fold out. But this deck is mainly good for what people call past life readings. This is a, come on, hands today, we need to work. Okay. Nope, no way to get this all in a shot. Oh, yep, kind of. Okay, this is best for past life readings. It folds out like that. And then it has just keywords, which is fine for me because I actually have the Big Visions book because I have both the decks. So I bought the Big Visions book. But I love that this deck is in a tin. It's smaller in size, which is perfect again for my small little hands. In this lighting, ooh, yes. In this lighting, you can tell there's the holographic edges. They're beautiful. And the cards. Yeah, that guy is really screaming in the background. Anyways, hope you guys don't hear him. The cardstock, even for being a mini and having gilded edges, is just perfect for me. It's like the right amount of thickness. I love small decks. This is the Weaver. I haven't really worked with this deck, to be honest. Ooh, okay, yeah. I need to flip this over. I haven't really worked with this deck, being really honest yet, because I'm debating if I want to use it for past life readings or if I want to just read with it as an oracle, as it just is, without worrying about past life and all that. But as usual, his art is stunning. I am obsessed with color. So the fact that this has just like the right color scheme for me is literally everything. So intricate and detailed, like even this 7 of lotuses, and you see the cute little frogs and you see like just all the details. For being small, it's not like this. This is beautiful. This is giving me like Apollo vibes for some reason, but I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Just stunning art. And this as an oracle deck and the way that it's formatted, like having its own, what's it called? Suits, just like you would a tarot deck, is brilliant. And a lot of the cards reflect, ooh, that guy is like really mad, sorry. Just reflects great. Like this card. Look at that sky. I'm sorry. I'm just obsessed. Sorry. Obsessed. If you like this artwork, if you like James R. Ead, I definitely recommend looking into this one because it is great and it pairs, of course, well with the Prisma Visions. But because of even just the color scheme, it could go with so many other things. But yeah, I really, 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 really love the artwork. And this is the Cosmovisions Oracle. Oh, as I struggle to put it back into its tin. I actually got this, what makes me sad too, is I got this deck and look at, It has a crinkle. And it was already like that when I got it. Sad life. Okay. Tin is done. Next one I will reach for is this behemoth. It doesn't photograph well at this setting, but this is the Seed and Sickle Oracle deck. I'm by Fez Inkwright. I'm pretty sure a lot of you have seen this deck in some way, shape, or form because the creators, Liminal 11, they're the same ones who did the Modern Witch Tarot. They did the White Newman, which I have, and then what's that other one? I think Luna Soul, and then there's something else, the something Slumber deck. Anyways, I don't have those. I just have this one. It has gray tuck box on the side. Says 1 for the city and 1 for the crow. Actually, I don't know if it's city. I don't know how to pronounce that. Sorry. 1 to wither, 1 to grow. If you're not aware of this deck, it has some beautiful, let me see. Oh, you can kind of, yeah, it's really hard to photograph. Sorry. At this setting because my camera sucks. Sorry, I'm working from my phone. This deck is really fascinating because it, oops, there was another card in there. It has 2 guidebooks. Yes, I know, extra, but amazing. Has 2 guidebooks. One is the dawn and one is the dusk. And depending on what type of work you're doing, and it even says on the back, I'm not going to read this all because there's 2 of them. But one is for one type of readings and the other is for the other type of readings. And that also changes the card meanings of the cards. So let me show the cards. The backs are beautiful. I will say this cardstock is not, well, it's thick, which I like, kind of. I do like thicker cardstock. It's thick, but the texture is bordering on, the best way to describe this texture to me is like a cereal box. You know the texture of the outside of a cereal box? It's like that kind of texture, which bothers me. I don't like that texture. But I put up with it because these cards are beautiful. Each card has a number and each card has a name. There's no keywords. So if you're somebody who likes keywords, I'm sorry, this might not be the deck for you. But I like it because, again, I don't like Oracle decks to have a bunch of crowded stuff on it. It's like too much for me. But this is perfect. This is how I like to read Oracle. I don't mind having to flip through a guidebook. I know some people are like, well, I want to be able to read this intuitively, and I get it. I mean, I'm not really good at plant energy, to be honest. I don't know much about mistletoe, but I get a sense of what this is about. I mean, the crossed swords, there's conflict, but there's a bird getting the mistletoe. A lot could be said about this, as is maybe. Like even the oak, you get images of thunder. I've gotten this card a lot in the few readings I've done with this deck. So this is like, relates to Zeus, growth, a bunch of stuff, depending on, again, which guidebook you're flipping through. So the artwork is stunning though. This is like basically the plant deck for me. I don't work with a lot of plant energy. I don't understand a lot of plant energy, but I like the vibes of this deck. This is like definitely my aesthetic. It has coloring that I appreciate. So for me, this works perfect. And if this isn't your jam, cool, but I like it. And there's, especially because, wait a second, I think the box says, does it say? There's a lot of cards in here. I'm pretty sure. Oh, this is its price. It is mass market, so you can buy it kind of easy. Dang, it doesn't say. Oh, wait, yes, it does. There are 53 cards in this deck. So it is actually pretty good size for those who like a lot of cards in their Oracle. So definitely give it a shot if you like it. If this cardstock doesn't bother you, the cardboard, this is kind of like I'm on the edge of not liking it. But if you want a deck with plant energy and you are all about the aesthetics too, go ahead and pick this one up. Next, as I put this one away, next one I'm going to show is a recent acquisition. You guys probably maybe saw me just unbox this deck actually, and it is the Heart's Eye Oracle. The creator, the artist, has the same exact name as me, which I was startled by. I've literally never met another Olivia Rose, but this is actually just the artist's middle names. Both of these are their middle names. So it's not their first name as far as I remember, because I had a whole conversation with the artist. I was really curious and surprised and excited by the same name. Let me show off this deck. It's a little hard. This is an indie deck. Their website is right there. Lala's Dreambox. It's a UK-based artist. This style of box is not always the greatest for opening. Maybe I'll cut out a thing on the side. I don't know. The backs are stunning. Like, look at that. Beautiful. This deck is on the edge of also being that's the guidebook. This deck is also on the edge of being too big for me. Like I said, I have small hands. It kind of fits actually okay though, but it's, as you can see, I'm like stretching it. And I, though, am obsessed with these backs and obsessed with the color scheme of these cards. They're beautiful. Like, look at that. Look at that. I'm sorry. That's beautiful. I have not gotten a chance to work with this yet, as I've just barely unboxed it, but I am so excited because the keywords are really good. The art is stunning, and I think there's a lot I'll be able to pull. This is the card that kind of drew me into the deck, this grief card. The cardstock is really good. It has like a good thickness and smoothness. It's more of a matte, but it's not like rose petal. So I feel like if you're a riffle shuffler, you'll probably love this deck. If you can shuffle wider decks, that is. I think you guys would like it. It has a good thickness to me. I don't know. I prefer thicker cardstocks than really thin. Unless it's like low Scarabeo cardstock. Beautiful. I love that. Like the slightly thinner look to it. Oops. Already flipping these. Oh, nope. Flipped it the wrong way. But this is a beautiful deck. And I am excited to work with it because it has really good keywords. It has enough Fae energy in the right way for me that it's not going to put me off. I love fairies and fantasy and things like that, so that's what drew me to this deck. But I've always been kind of weirded out by Fae decks that were like too, I don't know what the word is. Well, this is kind of borderline of it. It's like too childish, maybe, is the thing. Like if it looks too young for me, that's not really energy I carry anymore since being a kid. Oh, this is beautiful. Actually, sorry, all these cards are beautiful. So yeah, this has a good balance for me of like the darkness, like with the backs and some of the like lighting in the back with more childlike wonder and what I expect Fae to be. So this is like the perfect balance of energy. And yeah, I'm really excited for this deck. So this is the Heart's Eye Oracle. And if you're interested in it too, go ahead and check it out. She's on Etsy. She has it on her website too. She is in the UK though. So if getting international decks is a little harder for you, then yeah, it's going to be a little harder for you to get a hold of. It took me a little bit of a while. I ordered it some weeks ago and it finally just came to me. So yes, it'll take some time, but I'm not someone who's worried about rushing anyways. And finally, this is the secret. This is the secret of this video. I have one more Oracle deck to show with a little surprise for the end. This This is the Coastal Curiosities Oracle Deck by Lennox Reese. I love this deck. This is probably my favorite Oracle deck in my collection. This is the second edition, which recently got funded on Kickstarter. I was one of the people, I was obsessed. Like when I discovered this deck, I was like, yes, I have to have it. I have to get this funded. I have to try everything. I'm sorry. I feel like I was being annoying. I was going into different people's comment sections if I saw they had like reviewed the deck like favorably, and I've been like, oh, there was a second edition. There's a second edition. Go ahead and fund it. So I was being really annoying. But this is a collage style deck. An Oracle. So this is her websites. Second edition, designed in Oregon. Coastal Curiosities wander through all 54 linen cards filled with delightful miniature worlds of many eccentric keepsakes inspired by the Pacific Northwest. And that's kind of where I live. So, well, California, but I live in northern-ish California, so still identify with the Pacific Northwest aesthetics. Guide your intuition for creative care, growth, and focus as you unlock all of your possibilities from the woods to the ocean. What can I say about this deck that others might not have already said? This is the guidebook. This deck is stunning. I've been using that word a lot today, but it's stunning. It is. The cardstock is linen. It has a texture to it, but it's very nostalgic. As you can see, the cardstock is thinner. So if you are someone who riffle shuffles, you'll probably really like the cardstock on this. The second edition has these backs. I think the color was originally blue if you have a first edition. And this is the guidebook. The guidebook, as you can see, is chunky. It's fully colored too. Has a lot to say on each of the cards, keywords, beyond the keyword, and little bits and bobs, which is, it's just perfect. I don't know. This is like what you would want and need if you have an Oracle deck. There's even like spreads, as you can see. I haven't tried any of these spreads out, but I'm really curious to. And it gives you an anatomy of the cards, like understanding them. And there's even a bit of a note in the beginning, introduction. But that's the guidebook. And these are the stunning cards. I'm going to flip through some of these. Because I feel like there's quite a few people now who've done actual flip throughs of this deck. But I'm obsessed. Look at this. Just like for intuition purposes, this hits a lot of notes for me. I don't know what it is about it. That's why it's probably my favorite, because the keywords submerge makes sense with like the depths you would go to with this. They hit all the right notes. They have the aesthetic that I just love and feel deeply in my bones. Like I like the idea of collage style decks a lot, but I don't really have that many because they don't all look like this. This is what I like in collage style. So this is the perfect collage style deck for me. And the cards are beautiful. I love the Sickle card with the salmon. Like this makes so much sense to me. I'm sorry, it does. Because like if you know anything about salmon, right, they go through cycles where they have to go upstream and back when they're like giving birth to other salmon babies. And even the flowers, right, go through cycles of growth. I'm not sure. I think the guidebook would talk about those. Almost like jellyfish. Maybe they have cycles too. Not sure. But this just makes so much sense to me. And so, because it hits all the notes, yeah, I was obsessed with making sure that this deck got funded. And because of that, I actually have a surprise. So, I don't know if that's a power move or not. I think this is only going to be my 4th video ever. But because I love this deck so much, and I was desperate for it to get funded because I was really worried it wouldn't, I actually bought 2 copies of this deck. So, you guys probably know what I'm about to say, but I want to do a giveaway. Yes, this deck is beautiful. If you are really interested in the idea of this deck, the artwork, anything, I want to give this deck, the second copy I have of it, away. So I'm going to show you. What I mean by that. So for the Kickstarter, right, I backed 2 copies. So I have a second sticker pack that came with it, because it came with this like cute little sticker pack when I got it. I have a second Wonder postcard with Lennox's signature on it, right? Thank you for your support. I have a second one of this. And I have a second box of Coastal Curiosities that, as you can see, is still in its plastic. It's still safe. It's still secure. I haven't touched this at all. I want to give this away to one lucky, I guess, viewer of this video. I don't know. Okay. Actually, no. Sorry. I need to establish rules. I need to establish rules for this giveaway. 1, you will need to comment on this video with you need to comment on this video with the keyword curious somewhere in the comment. So something that makes you curious, I guess. And if you want a second, what's it called? Double the chance of getting your name, getting this deck, sorry. I lost all words. If you want to also double your chances of getting this deck, please make sure to follow, or not follow, what's it called? Subscribe to my channel. So subscribe, comment with the keyword curious somewhere in it, and you will get a chance to get this deck. Now, I don't want to put, maybe I will actually. I was going to say, I don't want to put a limit to the giveaway, but I feel like there has to be some kind of time frame in mind. I will say anybody who comments and subscribes by November, maybe November 28th. I'm just throwing in a random number here, but November 28th, if you comment, subscribe, you'll have a chance to win this deck. If you're interested, that is. But yeah, this is from the Kickstarter, and it's unopened, and it's beautiful, and you get even extra goodies like this cute little postcard and stamps, all together. And yeah, I can finally get rid of this deck because I obviously don't need 2 copies of it. I just wanted it to get funded so badly that I got myself a second copy thinking that one day I'd give it away. So this is your chance to get it. And thank you all for watching this video. Next up will be all the tarot decks in my collection. Not to say that I have like an exuberant amount, but yeah, I just have a lot. So all the tarot decks in my collection will be next. But for now, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye.